Hello YouTube, and hello to all you pipers out there. Today I would like to talk about the benefits that I got when I pressed a tobacco myself. The background story is that I have a tobacco mixture that I like quite a lot, and under certain circumstances, however, it provokes tongue bite and I'm sensitive to tongue bite, and I was thinking about different solutions. Of course, after some time, I really managed to smoke the mixture, but then I thought, what about pressing the tobacco to take some harshness out and to have a cooler smoke? And the tobacco mixture I'm talking about is this one here. This is the Schneiderwind number 55. It's a German house blend from the house of Schneiderwind, which is located in the city of Aachen. Last year I filmed a video about them, and if you're interested, I put a link in this video description. I like this mixture a lot, and I was, as I said, thinking about a solution. I have a little description here at the bottom of the tin, but they don't say much about the tobacco consistency. They only say it's a mixture. And the interesting thing is that this tobacco mixture is aging in barrels of cedar wood. That's what they say around the tin. And then, of course, the cedar flavor goes over to the tobacco mixture, and I love in particular the smell and taste of cedar wood. And to give you a better impression, I laid out something here on this tobacco tray. You see, this mixture is sometimes a little bit too fine for my taste, and I've learned, or I've experienced, that this tobacco burns too hot in the bowl, too fast and too hot. Yes, and I handled that by pressing it very firmly with the temper. However, I was thinking about, what about when I press it myself? And it was thought and done, and I purchased such a little metal press. It's not large, it's not big, and I put the mixture in there, pressed it as firm as I could, and then it was really resting there for 8 weeks, 10 weeks. I've got some time, patience, I've enough other tobacco to try in the meantime, and as a result I got something like this. You see here. I hope you can see that well. Here's so cylinder formed tobacco. And what I did is, just take something away from the table. What I did is, I take then here such a cigar cutter, or you can also use a knife, and to cut the slices as thin as I probably can, and then that I have at the very end some small curlies which I can smoke in a wider bowl. And that's what I intend to do, and I will light my pipe. This time I've got here again my Peterson Squire. It is, the bowl diameter is about 22 millimeters, so that's wide enough to have the curlies in. I have a P-lip, I have a 9 millimeter filter, I have now the curlies, so I'm gonna light this and let you know if this really improved the situation for me. After a short break. Welcome back, the bowl is lit, and as usual I took a few puffs in advance. Yes, and immediately I get this very subtle and pleasurable cedar flavor. This is only the minimum quantity that you can think of. Apart from that, it's really a very natural tobacco. I can taste the Virginia, I can taste this delightful cedar flavor, but as I said, only very subtle. And in the retrohell, I get it much better. So this is something unique. So far, I didn't see any other tobacco or houseplant delivering that. Of course, I had the Untouchables. Last year, I think in my St. Nicholas video, I introduced the Untouchables with a very strong cedar, but that was flavored. It was not only a natural tobacco. Here we have only natural tobacco, and this was aging in cedar wood barrels, and that's a completely different thing. Mm. So if you are more into the natural tobaccos, you love that cedar wood flavor, but only a slight pinch of it and not anything chemical or flavored in it. Then you might prefer this over the Untouchables. I like both tobaccos depending on my mood. Sometimes I would like to have more, sometimes less, but I enjoy both of them. And as far as my experience goes, I don't have or I don't know that much tobaccos or mixtures giving this cedar or woody sandalwood flavor. That is something that I do enjoy, especially in the winter season. And I think I mentioned that sometimes it reminds me of the base notes of some perfumes. Mm. Yeah, and this time the smoke is much cooler. I do not struggle with that so much. And yeah, with the P-lip, uh, it's even better, especially if you are somehow, as I am, sensitive towards tongue bite. Today I can show you a new lighter. It was a Christmas present. This is a lighter from the company Vauen, or promoted by the company Vauen. It's a little bit small, so it has to be, it's a butane lighter, it's a little bit small, so it has to be refilled more often. But there is one advantage here on the back. Can you see that? Just a second. Try to get it on the picture for you. Yeah, you see here there's a little window so that you can see how much needs to be refilled, or if it needs to be refilled. So yeah, but it's a nice Christmas gift, and somehow the handling with this very big, what is it, wheel, uh, is quite comfortable. So let's give it a try. Nice elegance. Yeah, it was a gift, so let's do not complain. It's a nice lighter. And today I have it with some coffee. Cheers. Ah, what a well and smooth smoke. Yeah. Natural with just the tiniest amount of flavor that you can think of. If you're into such stuff, or if you're in the mood for that, then it's definitely a recommendation. Apart from that, the city of Aachen is worth a trip. So if you are coming to Germany, give it a try. Mixture 55, that is something special. And of course, I would be grateful if you have some advice, if you know some tobacco of this cedar wood flavor, sandalwood flavor, or woody flavor. Please give me some advice in the comments. That would be nice. Yeah, and we have a new year, 2026. New projects are coming, but currently I'm still in the mood of transition. So I leave behind the abundance of the December. We hopefully all have digested what was available for us. Yeah, and beginning of February, then the days will, it's clear, it's more visible that the days will become longer. Of course, since the winter solstice, the days are becoming longer. But beginning of February is the time when I start really to perceive it. I love this tobacco. And you see, I draw a little bit faster, and if I have this mixture, it would punish me with tongue bite. But here in this pressed version, these little coins, they are fine. So I'm not an expert on that, but at least I can tell you what I have learned is, yeah, I could take the harshness out. I purchased this little press, nothing fancy, and pressed it, let it sit, have some patience, and then tried it again, and the result is positive for me. So it's really far more comfortable to smoke, and I can enjoy it even more. So that would be interesting for Schneider Wind, or they are created by COP. I can see that from the text emblem. It's created by COP. Maybe they think about pressing it and offering a pressed version of it. That would be nice. But if they don't, I help myself. And sometimes in life it's necessary to think a little bit out of the box to find solutions, or sometimes a solution is an idea is passing by from somebody you know, and you get an idea. Yeah. About digesting today. Originally I wanted to have a hazelnut brandy, but then Mrs. Pipechap got something else that I would like to show you. She opened this bottle of sherry, and sometimes I like that. So that is PX, what is it, 1927, and Alvea. Yeah, sherry is Spanish, so that's what I have in my glass, and I've tried it, of course. Yeah, it's here. And we can take a smell. Sweet. It has a very dominant smell of plum. But it is somehow, and I had to look up the word, resinous, and that is in particular what I like in a sherry. So cheers. Yeah, sweet, fruity, definitely something like plum, resinous, and I like it. Yeah, that is sure not an alternative to hazelnut brandy. However, I really enjoy also a sherry every now and then. Normally it is a starter when you have a menu or meal, but sometimes, and this time I take it as a digestive. After all the abundance of December. Yeah. Let's see if the pipe is still glimming. Now I've got to relight that. So I'm gonna check how my new lighter is doing. Yeah. So today we got a shorter video then. So the only thing remaining to say is yeah, thank you for subscribing. I noticed that I got new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. And yes, I do, of course, appreciate that you spend some time with me. And I hope that I can deliver interesting content for you this year. And I'm gonna take you through the year. Let's see what we find. I have some projects going on, but everything coming with time. So, thanks a lot for your patience and hope to see you again in the next video. Goodbye!